The Chopin Piano Competition has wrapped up, but here in Poland the discussions haven't stopped. And one question kept coming up throughout the event. Why were there so many brilliant pianists from Japan? To find out, our reporter Gabriela Fesnak embarked on a journey through the country.
Fryderyk Chopin, Poland's most famous and beloved composer, has been immortalized in dozens of statues all over the world. None more iconic than Warsaw's Royal Baths Park Chopin Monument. But the statue behind me, while identical, is not in Warsaw, but in the Japanese city of Hamamatsu in Shizuoka Prefecture. So why does the city of less than 800,000 residents and thousands of miles away from Warsaw have a Chopin statue? Let's find out. The Japanese first took part in the third Chopin competition in 1937, and Japan has had a strong presence in the contest ever since. In the most recent edition, two Japanese contestants, Shiori Kuwahara and Jun Shimada, qualified for the finals.
There is nothing like that other than Chopin competition. Also, it's a dream stage for pianists, us pianists. So I wanted to take this opportunity to express myself through Chopin.
My journey to the Chopin competition began with my elementary school's graduation album, actually. I wrote in this album about my future, that one day I want to take part in the Chopin competition. I was fascinated by Chopin's music when I was quite young.
Japanese children start playing the piano as young as 4 and are often introduced to Chopin at the age of 6 or 7.
I started learning Chopin in kindergarten. I think Chopin was a man filled with many emotions. One day I would like to perform fantasies and mazurkas at the Chopin competition.
But it isn't just Japanese piano players and audiophiles that take interest in Chopin. The Polish composer's work appears in commercials, literature and TV series, and even manga and anime.
This is the piano in the forest.
There is a manga titled Forest of Piano. It was really popular. The main character comes from an underprivileged background but meets a wonderful teacher and makes wonderful friends, and in the end he performs at the Chopin competition and becomes a hero.
Chopin's music has even been incorporated into J-pop. The girl group Beyonds celebrated the Polish composer in their song Eiju Waratte, Chopin Senpai.
I'm often asked why Japanese people love Chopin, and it's a very difficult question to answer, but as I said earlier, Chopin's music is wonderful, and also when it comes to melody, there are many parts in Chopin that have a very undulating melody which is called melisma. I think that this is something that is close to the Japanese sense of melody.
The city of Hamamatsu received the Chopin statue as a gift from the city of Warsaw more than 30 years ago. The gift was supposed to celebrate the establishment of a cultural exchange partnership between the two cities. Now, Hamamatsu is known in Japan as the city of music because it is home to some of the world's most famous piano makers, including Yamaha and Kawai pianos. So there was hardly any doubt that it should be Chopin that is commemorated in the gift from the city of Warsaw. For TVP World, from Hamamatsu, Gabriela Fesnak.
Thanks to Fryderyk Chopin, Poland continues to draw young pianists from around the world, all searching for that elusive X factor, that's something special that made Chopin who he was. Our reporter Maciej Jastrzębski met 3 of them to find out what brought them to Warsaw from Japan, France and China.
This is the Chopin University of Music, located just a stone's throw from the National Philharmonic, where the legendary Chopin competition took place this year. Inside, we were met by Chichiro Deguchi, Ayub Owaman, and Yunan Ji, who told us what bewildering twists of fate led them to study at this university. Chichiro originates from Yokohama, a city south of Tokyo. Her journey to Poland started at home, among her family.
My parents love Andrzej Wajda's films, so since I was a teenager, we have watched his films such as Ashes and Diamonds.
But in terms of music, what drew Chichiro all the way from Japan to Poland?
Poland has a wonderful and traditional method of piano education. So I thought that Poland is the best country to study playing the piano. And I was very fascinated by the history and the strengths of Polish people. That's why I came to Poland.
Then we went for a walk with Ayub. You may be surprised to hear that music was not the only reason he left Paris for Warsaw.
8 years ago, I discovered the Polish language, and I wondered, what's that? It's very similar to Russian. My mom is Russian, so it matters, honestly, and I decided to learn Polish.
As Ayub practiced Bach melodies on a piano in a university corridor, we asked who tops his composers list.
Concerning the Polish composers, obviously I'm in love with Chopin.
By that point, we knew that what foreign students may like the most about Poland could be Chopin, aesthetical identity, and language. But we missed one super likable element in the equation.
I like the dumplings. Okay. With strawberry or blueberry. I think it's sweet, it's delicious. And for me, this is the new food for me, completely new. Because in China, our dumplings always with meat and vegetables.
But the mouth-watering morsels of Polish cuisine are not the sole thing Yunnan is after.
I hope to be a pianist, and also I really want to participate in the Chopin competition.
As we strolled outside the university, Yunnan recalled that it was his mother who played him a piece by Chopin when he was only 5 years old. This is why
playing the piano has always made me feel peaceful and complete. It's something I can't imagine my life without, so it naturally became my path.
today, Chichiro, Ayub, and Yunnan's paths intersect in Warsaw, a place where they can hone their craft, complementing Poland's rich cultural composition.
The 19th International Fryderyk Chopin Piano Competition has come to a close. New stars have been born, but the applause hasn't drowned out the controversy. Questions are swirling about the jury's choices, artistic direction, and what this means for the future of classical piano. So what's next for the winners and for the legacy of Chopin himself?
The International Chopin Piano Competition has been sparking lively debates for nearly 100 years. This year's edition was no different. But, oh boy, who would have thought classical music could ignite such an emotional response in the year 2025?
What an injustice! The biggest scandal in the history of the Chopin competition. This grand competition ended in a whimper. Chopin would have walked out of the room in protest after such a verdict.
This is crazy how much coverage this competition has. Just even in Warsaw, I feel like everything is now Chopin competition themed. I guess I tried not to look at social media so much, just to cut out on the distractions as much as I could.
But the organizer of the competition, the Chopin Institute, considers the controversies a positive sign.
Because it means that the commentator and also the audience are dedicated to listening and to participating in a musical performances, and that's the big value.
Chopin is everywhere in Warsaw.
조성진 스테르초 1번.
Thanks to social media, this year's Chopin competition gathered the biggest audience in its history. People across all time zones watched the young pianists conquer sonatas and mazurkas, even losing sleep to catch every performance by their favorite contestants. Here in Poland, nearly half of the population said that they followed the competition, and millions around the world joined them online.
This 19th edition has been streamed on TikTok for the first time in history, and we've managed to reach 91 million times to our audience globally. Of course, the dominant market was Poland, but soon after the Poland were United States, Japan, Mexico, Romania, Germany, France and Italy.
Miliony widzów Millions of viewers of this competition prove that classical music is not elitist. On the contrary, it can connect people, and it builds something of a commonwealth of emotion that we were experiencing together.
With great popularity comes great misinformation. A rumor spread that a new experimental scoring system was used. A system proposed by Kevin Kenner, one of the jurors, in collaboration with mathematician Krzysztof Kontek. But Kenner himself can be quoted saying he regretted his preferred method wasn't used. The official statement from the Chopin Institute says,
"We did not use the Kontek-Kenner system at the competition. There was no experiment, as the system used was really based on previous competitions."
It's difficult to judge art. Everyone will have strong opinions, and yet a winner must be named. This year it was Eric Liu from the United States. He amassed the most points across each stage of the competition, proving to be the most consistent player out of all participants. The next 20th Chopin competition will take place in 2030. More likely than not, the verdict will also be controversial. But hey, it's a music competition. Get ready to face the music.
And now it's time for Culture Beats. More than 130 creative sector businesses from Poland and Korea gathered at Warsaw's Palace of Culture and Science for K-Content Expo. Korean culture has been gaining global popularity for more than a decade now, and Poland is no exception.
The Korean wave has reached Poland. Earlier this week, thousands of visitors were able to participate in K-Content Expo Poland 2025, an event connecting representatives of Korea's creative industry with local Polish businesses. The highlight of the event was the announcement of the opening of Korea Creative Content Agency Business Center in Poland, which will be the agency's first hub in Central Eastern Europe.
I think Poland is a very important country to increase and to expand and to connect East Asia and Central and Eastern European market.
Polish fans of Korean culture are in fact already able to enjoy K-dramas on channels run by Poland's public broadcaster TVP.
I'm very happy to share that we already have a deal with TVP this year, and many of our dramas are available on TVP, and the best example is A Lovely Runner. So the TVP is carrying some of our amazing rom-coms to the action dramas.
More than 130 companies from Poland and Korea took part in the expo.
The 33rd Energa Camera Image International Film Festival has begun in Toruń. This year's centerpiece is the main competition for the Golden Frog Award, a tradition that dates all the way back to the first edition in 1993. The festival is also shining a spotlight on television, expanding its series competition, which proves that today some of the most exciting visual innovations are happening on the small screen. There's also a strong lineup of documentaries and short films exploring sensitivity, creativity, and bold formal experimentation. The program reminds us that cinema begins with light, and at this time of the year in Toruń, that light shines especially bright. Unmistakable voice and a world of gentle melodies. That's the simplest way to describe Grzegorz Turnau's musical universe. After 11 years, the artist returns with a new album. The Sixth Hour is a story about growing up, the need for peace, and the fleeting moments suspended between dream and reality. Serious poetry meets a flash of irony here, and every song proves that maturity doesn't rule out a touch of mischief. And with this, we conclude Pulse of Culture. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for more.